You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
What's up, everybody?
We're keeping that.
Okay. No, don't keep that.
Yeah, we are.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smartest Guys of Marketing podcast, here with Chris Evans and Taylor Welch. We are glad that you're here with us today. We're also streaming live on the Facebooks. We've got an international audience all over the world, people coming live.
Honored to be here with you today and to really change your life, whether you're driving in your car on the highway or whether you're baling hail. Hey. Baling hay.
Baling hail, boy.
Guys, it's been a long
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about
we got some shocking news.
Shocking news. And the reality is that this will likely be offensive to many, but we're kind of in that zone right now. You have to decide before you continue on through this podcast whether you want us to make you feel good or whether you want us to make you great.
I would encourage you just to quit listening right now.
Well, if you want to be great, keep listening. If you want to feel good, Raymond says Chris equals Aquaman. It's amazing. It's not the ads. People are weak. This is shocking news. People are weak. I am, there's a lot that's been going on in our lives recently. A lot of transition, a lot of chaos. If you actually look through April, so for those of you who don't know, there's a new addition to the Welch family. We have a new baby girl who was born a month early. And if you look through the last month, so April, me and Chris, we were in Dominican Republic. We did 2 days of training, about 30 hours of content. Then we flew back to the United States and Kate was born 3 days later. Then we had the elite event. You were back out in Nashville 4 days after that. We did a 2.5 day event, probably another 20 or 30 hours of content. We had a lot of switches. I think we spent close to $250,000 in ads last month while all this was going on. Hired 3 or 4 new people. The world of the successful entrepreneur is absolute chaos at times.
Yep. And
I've just been seeing a trend inside of our groups and inside of our calls. And we probably have 400 calls a day that the team is doing now. And they send a report at the end of every day. Here's who I talked to. Here's how it went. And we have people that read through these. And I am shocked at the level of weakness that is prevalent in the market from people who say that they want this and they want that and they want to provide for this and provide for that. But here's the risk that we all face is one day you wake up and you realize you've optimized your whole life for safety instead of growth.
Ooh.
And a person can speak with their mouth, but they actually show themselves through the decisions that they make on a day-to-day basis, their actions. And I think it's a real problem and nobody's talking about it. And people think that we're mean. And, I did a Facebook Live in the group and people were like, wow, how mean you are, Taylor, big bad wolf. But I'm like, you are worthless when you say you want this, but you are unable to do, or unwilling, really is the right word, to do anything that's going to take you there. And I sent this person a link to homedepot.com/careers. And I was like, this is what you should do instead of being an entrepreneur. And people were like, oh my God, like what a mean person. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm actually concerned for people. And you cannot say one thing with your mouth and do another thing with your decisions and be a happy person. This doesn't work out for you. We need to talk about this.
Yeah, on that note, like if you don't have the ability to withstand communication like that, what's going to happen when people steal from you?
Which will happen.
Will happen. Employees, people who are clients, and they say bad things about you that aren't true. You're going to get offended? No, absolutely not. And so these are things that I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about. And it's important that you understand what you're in for. If you really, truly are signed up in this game of business and you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be successful, these are the things that are required.
Yeah. How many people message you and are like, man, I'm just really inspired by your story. Like
all the time, dude.
How do I do what you've done? I'm just a newbie entrepreneur. And you're like, well, who are you investing into, and they're like nothing. And it's just like, man, people have no idea. Maybe we don't talk about it enough, but the sacrifices we went through at the beginning to create the things that we've created. So I think everybody at the end of the day, this is my belief, gets about what they deserve on a macro level. Like you take a person, over a 2-month period, and that's not true. It's like, well, something bad happened to them and it wasn't their fault, and circumstances this and circumstances that. I get that. But if you take somebody over 100 years, everyone pretty much gets what they deserve. Everybody gets a little setback. Everybody gets a little opportunity. Everybody has a few good friends. Everybody gets a few backbiting losers. As like everyone gets a little bit of good, a little bit of ugly, and we all get a few opportunities. And for the most part, we all get about the same mixture. Whether that happens to you early in life or later in life, it's going to equal the same. And we get to choose where we end up. And the caliber of a person's life will always come back to the caliber of their decisions, not the caliber of their mouth, the caliber of what they say they want, not the caliber of how many times they write their goals down on the back of their hand because they heard that from somewhere, but your decisions. Yep. Are you making risky decisions that actually put you into a position to learn and to grow? People don't like this because there's no comments in here, but it's the dirty truth. People are like, whoa.
Especially in the early days, if you're making the right decisions, you probably won't have a lot of fans. You probably won't have a lot of people cheering you on.
Yep.
I didn't.
Me either. In fact, I lost friends. There were people that used to be buddies of mine that were like, man, you're kind of why you want to do this? Why do you say you want this? Why are you posting on Facebook so much, man? You're kind of annoying.
Why can't you just be happy with what you have?
Yeah, why can't you be content? This is the game, man. And anyone who tells you that you can achieve any measure of greatness without that, they probably haven't put up with it themselves.
Yep.
Welcome to it.
Man, it got quiet. It got quiet on here.
Whew. So quiet. Everybody wants the rainbows. Nobody wants the rain. Those. Yeah. Anyways, 3 things we're going to leave you with today. Let's just pick it back up a little bit, pick it back up. There's good news here, because if you get what you deserve, that means you can pretty much control the outcome through your decisions. And this isn't bad news. This just means a lot of people that we deal with are making decisions that don't take them where they want to go.
Yeah.
Number 1, people say things with their mouth, but they show what they're worth through their decisions. They say things with their mouth, but they show what they deserve through their decisions. And for us, we try to always be the type of people that we're not just talking about it, but we're doing it. We're doing the difficult things. And you don't look at us and be like, well, it's easy for you guys because look at you. Look at your team. Look at your offices. Look at how many clients you have. No. Because we were making difficult decisions before we had any of it. You can speak all you want, but until you are able to back that up with your choices, nobody's going to honor that.
Yep.
Your dad here?
I'd like to change the word decisions to actions.
Okay. Well, you can petition the board and we'll see.
Let's submit that, and I'd like to get that word overturned to actions, please.
I think that it's not really that different. It's like, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's the same. But people can decide something without action, but can they actually? Can you truly decide something without backing it up? I don't know. Philosophy lesson number 1 for the day.
What does the audience think?
Number 2, here, you want to hit this one?
No, you hit it.
I think one of the greatest traps of our day and age, I love studying the greats, man. I didn't tell you this, but I just ordered Rosser Reeves, Reality and Advertising, and a book that was a recorded conversation between Bernbach and Rosser Reeves and Ogilvy called The Art of Writing Advertisement. Can't wait to get these in. We were talking yesterday how many old advertising and old, mental toughness books we have. Like, there's nothing like studying the greats, but in our generation, today's day and age, I think the greatest trap that people have, and you can get caught up in, is creating an environment that makes you feel good instead of an environment that makes you strong. In fact, a few months ago, we talked on an episode of the podcast. We were like, you want to know who truly cares about you? Make a list of the people who have pissed you off in the last month. And sadly, most people won't be able to think of anyone.
Yeah.
It means nobody cares about you, man. And I don't know about you, but I want my environment to make me strong and truly great. And being great, I'm going to feel good too. But people today are just chasing after the feeling, and they're so feelsy. It's just lifestyle entrepreneur bull. It's like, I just want to feel good about this. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, I'm going to choose greatness and feel good because of being actually great, rather than creating an environment that's so weak that just makes me feel strong. It's strong via comparison. It's the equivalent of going into the gym and being like, I don't like how heavy it is, so I'm going to feel stronger by taking the weight off.
Yeah. I think one thing to ask yourself, if you've been growing the last 30, 60, 90 days, to know if you've been growing and you're moving the right direction, how uncomfortable have you felt? Because growth requires you to be uncomfortable. And so if you haven't been uncomfortable on multiple fronts, you're probably not doing anything worth anything that's going to get you anywhere.
Agreed.
You like that?
That was a good word, man. That was a really good word.
Is that the best thing that's been said on this podcast?
Might have been the best thing that we've ever said on any podcast of all time in the history of podcasting.
All right, number 3, people underestimate their true enemy. People underestimate their true enemy.
Sounds dirty.
Your true enemy is not Trump. It's not Bernie.
It's not
your competitor. It's you.
It's not Lion Ted.
Not Lion Ted. Your true enemy is you. And so this is where I feel like a lot of people miss it, is they don't understand that and understand how to combat that, right? Having a proper vision for yourself, for your life, for your business, and investing in yourself to become the better person that's required to get what you want out of life and business.
Yep.
Because the person that you have to be to go where you want to go, the finish line, is completely different from who you are today. And so many people operate their actions, their decisions based on who they are today, not who they need to be several days, months, years down the road. And I think this is one of the big things we've figured out, and big props to Taylor too. But just even like having the morning formula, like if you don't know where you're going as a person, you don't know the actions that you need to take. Like, how does a successful person that's doing $100,000 a month, how do they behave? What are the decisions that they need to make? The actions that they need to take? If you have that picture and it's clear, then you can operate in the correct manner to get what you want. Versus who you are today, you have to understand all the things that you're attached to, your history, your past, all the problems that you have been through, all the experiences that you have been through in life. Those are still a part of who you are today. And a lot of you guys and gals are making decisions based on who you are today and who you've been for years that has not served you well. So you got to change who you are. And that starts with vision and investing in yourself.
I think that if I can just jump on that bandwagon for a sec, because this is
jump
something
on there, bro.
I mean, we talked about this a few days ago. A buddy of ours doing $4.5 million a month. And our organization has grown a lot recently. So we're over $1 million a month. We're not at $5 million a month. You were talking to me about what do you think we're missing to hit those levels? And both of us, the answer for both of us was like, we have everything we need to do that. And most of the times, if you look back in your growth moments, you have everything you need to hit whatever goal you have in your business. It's the way you think.
Yep.
The way you make decisions is not in alignment with how the person who does what you say you want would make those decisions. And that's why, like, people are like, how do I think about this? How do I think about that? It happens all the time. When you have 400 or 500 clients, you're constantly getting hit with, how do I make this decision? Should I be on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn? And it's like, really none of it matters as much as how do you make decisions about investing and risk and where you're going to put your bandwidth and your activity. We have everything that we need. We're not missing anything.
Yep.
The element is always, we're not thinking like $70 million a year business owners. And that's the quest for us. Like, how do we figure out how those people think and start thinking like those people,
So if you have no resources or very limited resources, you follow them on social, you buy their books.
Yep.
I mean, we've gone through, and even the guys who were successful in the Industrial Revolution have studied them a lot. Henry Ford, all the dudes, Rockefeller. And then as soon as you do, go back and listen to the last podcast we did on sales. If you're making those excuses, stop making them. Find the money to get around people now that think in the proper way, that think at a high level.
Yeah, I hate how olds or like bitter, resentful people hate on the information age because they're like, well, I have to like pay for friends. Yeah, what a freaking gift. Like Rockefeller had nobody he could pay to get, like he had to learn all of that the hard way. And people in the past, when they want to learn something, that the recipe for that is just nonstop failure. Hope you don't die in the process. And if you survive, then you learn the lessons. How amazing is it today that, you know, we can get access to our mentors as cheap as we can, you know, like we can. I remember when I was first getting started and I was able to work for free for one of my idols and learn so much. And, you know, you did the same thing. And now we're in a place where it's like the people we've looked up to forever, Jay, like being able to just give him money and be around him and become a beneficiary of the life and the failures he's had. It's an amazing thing. And people need to stop being resentful. In fact, there's something wrong with your mindset if you're resenting it. What an opportunity it is that you should flip that around.
Yeah, they're entitled. They're entitled little crybabies. So nobody owes you anything. And if you look at it that way, you'll start to become a resource to other people. And you'll understand how valuable other people are as a resource. And when you value that, then you're happy to invest, right? Because not only does it help you, but it supports and furthers their mission, their value to the world. Versus always just trying to take. What can you give me? Like, dude, when people send me messages on social and they just want to take, like, Chris, what, you know, they're asking me questions and stuff, I just ignore them because it's not even good ground to sow into. I'm not going to throw my pearls before swine.
I knew that was coming, bro. I'm not going to throw my goodies before pigs. All right. I think that's about it for today.
Just getting started. I'm just getting started.
Anything else, bro, before we wrap this shindig up?
No, I should probably start.
Bunch of cool things we got coming up. We have a pretty cool intensive in Paris this fall. If you're interested in that, hit us up on Messenger, send an email into support@trafficandfunnels.com. I think we have 14 seats or something available right now. Some power players are going to be there. If you just want information, we have a dossier that we'll send to you. We have an event coming up at the end of the month, event coming up in July. We got a lot of stuff going. Get yourself on the memos if you're not on the memos. If you've been listening to this podcast for more than like a month and you don't have the memos, I disown you right now. You're no longer a knight of the Seven Kingdoms. You are disowned. And the only way you can get back in.
Is that a Game of Thrones reference, man?
It is, yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, Jay is on here and he says, now I know why you haven't answered me. LOL. Uh-oh. All right. Adios, everyone.
Adios, amigos.
See ya.